Hey everyone, and welcome back to What the Flag. It has been crazy, but top news, all three of us are in the same country right now, so we are buzzing. And I have to go right to our breaking news for our wonderful Yaz, but in a British accent. Yaz, whilst I've been away with Team GB, the London Warriors lost
Yeah.
what I don't even know where to go with this because guys, this is crazy. Kenny made a great analogy off air saying this is like Liverpool losing to Crystal Palace, and ultimately it is, unfortunately. Yaz, tell us what happened here with the Warriors, who have always been in the final for as many years as I can remember them being a program.
Yeah, this is like one of the first years I think I've been on team for 8 years, and I don't think we've ever not made it to the final. Um, it just wasn't our day. Like we had some really amazing moments of the game, but overall, like we weren't the best team on the day. There were th some things we didn't execute very well. There were some moments where our knowledge just wasn't there. We had a lot of changes to try and resurrect that, and I think ultimately maybe at some points it was too many moving parts. And unfortunately, yeah, it meant we ended up losing. I think Solent came with a really good side, and it was always going to be a close game. I mean, the first game that they played, God, I think it was back in April now. That was a close game. I think it was only 24-27 or something like that. I'm sure someone will argue with me in the comments if we get that wrong.
Not a
Um,
fan.
but it was never a game that we expected to just win easily, and we weren't the better team on the day. And despite whatever controversies there may be or what videos may be floating around on the internet, the ultimate thing is, regardless of, whether that was called in or not, I appreciate it. In this situation, it was game winning, but like we should have scored more. We could have played better. We could have scored more, and we didn't capitalize on those opportunities. So, as much as we will reflect and we'll be like, oh, it's this person's fault, it's that person's fault. Like ultimately, our execution wasn't there on the day, and that's why we're in this situation. I mean, it just means we've got a very long off season until until the next one. But hey, small wins. There's a weekend back in September that we now have to go on holiday. There you
Yeah.
go.
Love the positive outlook for sure.
Rumor
And
rumor has it that you were missing, well, not rumor. Is it because you were missing superstar Jochebed Frimpong, who I know
and
we're going to talk about later,
and
but like,
Siobhan Walker.
I
oh, she wasn't
mean,
there. I didn't know that.
no, Siobhan didn't play either. So like we were all
Oh,
like at half time, like we've got to win so we can like play with these guys again.
mm,
But yeah, no, two of our superstars weren't there. That could have been game like impacted the
changing.
game. But I mean,
Mm.
equally last year, like not to blow out anyone's birthday candles, but like last year we had Shiv and Jock and we didn't win the finals. So you can never really tell what a team needs in that moment. Like
No,
you have superstar players and players that are playmakers, and Shiv and Jock are definitely examples of those like playmaker players. But
no.
if the other seven people aren't meshing on the team, you can't just win a game with two.
Just
So
the two.
you know,
And I
but we
think
did
football,
miss them.
but football's always about the next person being ready to go, like next person up, right? So,
Absolutely.
and so. Oh no, I mean, I think it's good to hear you speak so graciously about the win and giving Solent their flowers where
Yeah, man, it's
maybe
their
they
first
forgot to
final.
give.
They deserve it. Like, let's hope they win and bring it back to the south, regardless, because they have to drive past, South London on the way. So
Yeah.
that's good. So let's hope they win and bring it back to the south. But yeah, man, like they were the better team. They deserve the win. They played really well. And we will see what next year brings.
And now, Kenny, you've been a bit quiet, a little bit under a rock
Yeah, no,
here. Where
for
have you
not a little
been?
bit, not a little bit, fully under the rock. I had to shut off social media. Um, I'm actually feeling it's really, really bad. I obviously did watch the games. I did watch the games from Chengdu, and it was very difficult to that feeling. It's been the same. It's been the same all year since we found out we weren't going. And I had plenty of time to think it through. And I think it's not that it was. I had to check to make sure like it wasn't some weird sense of entitlement or some kind of ego trip or like it's not about like being the best to be, feeling like we're the best or whatever, but it's very much more that it was earned and then taken away, that's the hardest bit. And because at the end of the day, all after football, after flag, after all the different brands, it's life is about experiences, right? And that's one that you can, it's never, there's not going to be another Chengdu World Games, like it's that moment has been missed. So yeah, hid under the biggest, darkest rock I could find for, I don't know, about a week, 10 days. But now it's finished and I'm actually happy, relieved.
And
Yay!
if anyone's wondering what was going on, make sure to check out episode 6, where Kenny reveals how Team Spain found out. I mean, and to be fair to Team Spain, they were the only team at the World Championships last year in Finland that were competing with USA. So it was a big loss, definitely not having you guys at out in Chengdu and competing because you have amazing athletes.
It's okay. Cheng what?
Hey,
Hey,
Chengdu.
very nice, very nice. Does this
Let's
affect
go.
your like world ranking or anything like that? Like, how does this
Ah,
work?
that's a oh,
Is that a whole episode on its own? Oh,
that's a whole.
tune
That's
into
a.
next
I'm
week, guys.
hoping. Apparently, I don't think it does.
Mm,
I don't think it does.
yeah,
But it's things like all the 8 teams that were out there have this additional playing experience. So
yeah,
the GB team had as well as going out to, because it's not just about Chengdu, it's about the preparation for Chengdu. So the GB team would have Boston, where they went to, and they now have had an extra 2 weeks of football all the time. And from Finland, from World Championships like tackle, when you have everyone together like that, the levels can't help but go up because
yeah.
it's all football all the time. And we've spoken other times about like the come down off the back of that when you're just like, oh, back to real life. Like, what do I have to go to Sainsbury's and get food. But if you've had that time together, that benefits all the other teams, and we can't
Replicate
manufacture
that.
that. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Euros is good. Now, in fairness, like in for the European Championships, right? France weren't in Chengdu, Germany weren't in Chengdu,
Mhm.
Turkey, Slovenia, all teams that we think are gonna like have some impact, like in terms of the European Championships. But I think it's undeniable that having that time together would have been really
Really
beneficial.
valuable.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the long term effects will be felt for many years beyond today. I've always wanted to say that. That's a Channel 4 news type thing to say. But yeah.
But I guess like to your point, world rankings are not being affected by this. The real qualification period starts next month at the Continentals, and we're 33 days out from the Europeans. The Americas start. You've got the Oceania, Asia, Continentals coming up in October. Like this is where the real qualification on the road to the Olympics begins, and so it's going to be huge. It's going to be really exciting next couple months. I know there's lots of news coming in, and we'll get into some of the Chengdu stuff in a second. But just recently announced as well were the Sports Illustrated Games. This is pretty cool. This is going to take place at the end of October out in Los Angeles, and we're going to have Team USA versus the world. Um, I'm like Team America is basically, not USA, I should say, versus the world, which is going to be crazy because if you've got Vanita Crouch and Deanna Flores on the same team,
Mm,
like what does that mean for the rest of the world? I mean, Sarah Parker as well, if you look at her from Team Canada, like she's unreal. But I love the idea. It's kind of like we used to have the All-Star games, for tackle as well, where you make the All-Star team. So this is going to be fantastic. We're going to have, I think it's like 8 countries represented in the worlds. I'm rolling through these because I know this is a big episode for us on all these catch-up stuff. Um, College football, the Air Lingus College Football Classic taking place this weekend as well. So producer Blessing, Kenny, we fly out. I fly out tomorrow. Which is Wednesday this week. Thursday, Kenny and Blessing fly out. It's all going on. There's going to be the gift games where the high school teams that come over from the States to compete. There's going to be a flag element as well, as they've just recently done their partnership with the Irish Wolfhounds. And then one of our other big ones coming up is going to be this weekend, the 23rd, which is also the College Football Classic Day. Come on now. We have GB at home at Coventry Butts versus Finland for another amazing game, which is the start, really the kickoff to the European Championships, which is a
Yeah.
2-year period. So there's a lot of football. And Yaz, you will be front and center.
Yep. It's I'm playing. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like well, it's the lead up, it's the last one sort of, I guess, of my season for now. We have another one in October against Spain. It's a round robin again. It's a smaller round robin this year because Sweden are not participating. They have folded as a team. So it will just be Finland, Spain, Germany, and us this year, which is cool. I assume they're all in the same places as far as I'm aware. So I think our home one is Finland as it was last year. Spain is away in Zaragoza, I want to say, and then
I
Germany.
got that.
Oh, sorry, Spanish Kenny, my bad. And then we have Germany, which is away, which I can't actually remember where it was. I want to say it was Dusseldorf, but I can't remember. Um, and that one will be, I want to say that one's the final next year, so that one might be even later. That one might be August next year. But yeah, round robin, 2 years, and hopefully leading on to an actual Worlds tournament. But we'll see.
We need a whole nother because that's basically to organize to decide the European champion in 2026. It's 3 matches.
Yeah.
Is that yeah, again? It's for another episode completely
Yeah,
because
because then
there's
you
no way
think about
that's a
world ranking and then all the
yeah. No,
teams that haven't participated that have teams that are then eligible to play at Worlds, and then
no.
how do the like Americas qualify for it if they don't have their own tournament? Like WFA is only just launched in Canada as like a
Oh, okay.
11s league. So like how does that
How does
like
that work?
translate into them having an 11s team? Oh, we could talk
That's
about this
so
for
much,
days.
so much. And sorry, bone to pick. Phoebe, on Saturday we have the heir to the throne flag
Imagine,
clinic in
imagine,
Ireland, in Dublin.
imagine.
And she did, and she glossed right over it. She said
Didn't
everything
even
else,
say
and she was
it.
like, I was like, wow, wow,
I thought you were going to
wow.
talk about it, Coach
Oh,
Kenny.
really? Oh, really? Oh,
It's yeah.
That
And also
deflection.
shout out Tees Caribbean for printing the shirts because they look so
Oh, I should
dope.
find one, shouldn't I? And like hold it
Yeah.
you
up.
should, you should. I definitely thought you'd be repping it on this
Oh, hold
podcast,
on,
to
hold
be
on.
honest.
Well, we're gonna add it into the video. Producer
Please
Matt is
don't.
gonna get it. He's back from Ibiza now, so he is a leveled out man. So we'll be getting that sorted for all of you. And drum
TV.
roll. Wait.
That's it. That's it. No more. No more. That's what they
No
get.
more,
That's
no
what
one
they
can see
get.
anything else.
So yes, what is the
Amazing.
clinic, Kenny?
The clinic is a flag clinic. It's going to be myself with some of the Irish guys. So Eccles is going to be helping out. Joe, Coach Fitz, we have to need to bully him and get him down there as well. And I'm hoping one or two from the women's team as well should be there helping out. So, but it's just a flag football clinic, like a chance to play more football, basically. Like so. By the time this episode goes out, you might have like 3 hours to register, but still, you can come down.
And it's
Everyone's
free for
invited.
everyone, right?
It's free. It's free for everyone. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, and it's game day morning. So if you're looking for something to do, if you're not at one of the tailgates on Saturday, make sure you get yourself down and just have a great time playing some flag. If you're new to it or if you've played before, there's something to take away. So, all right, we're going to start moving into the meaty chunk of what we're doing here. We knew this episode would be longer because, we miss everyone. But I'm going to just run away with it immediately. Chengdu was incredible. I think we have to give a big shout out to Lincoln from Ningbo, who is just a dude, man. I don't know if we would have survived without him. Genuinely, he flew over off his own back from Ningbo. He runs one of the biggest flag tournaments out in China every May, and he flew in just to support us. It was great. He was able to sort so much of our stuff, answer so many of our questions out for us. So I just have to give him his flowers because he even got us our pins to be able to share with everyone out in China. That was like a big thing. You have to exchange your pins. So I've got a lot of super cool pins and many other things, flags. So everybody that was like an employee there or volunteer there were repping the Great Britain flags. Um, but honestly, like looking back on the tournament, we had 6 matches. First one was against Italy. And I think to Kenny's point, it's hard when you enter in these competitions in terms of coming out like switched on. I feel like we never really started fast in those games. Italy is the team that ended up taking Spain's place. So in some ways I'm glad because I don't know if that would have been the same situation if we were playing Spain first up. But I'm sure Kenny and I will have opportunity to play against each other in the upcoming Europeans just to set things straight.
Level it up.
Level it out because last time we played Spain in the finals at the Euros, you were not a coach.
No, I was not the coach.
So this is a very different team that we will be playing, which is exciting.
It's very
But
weird because 2 Europeans ago, it was Spain GB in the final. Spain took that one. Then last Euros, it was Spain GB. GB took that one. But I mean, just looking at, no, I'm not calling a Spain GB final necessarily because I mean Austria in Chengdu. Like again, I know we're gonna come to it, but like, wow, 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 wow. So it'll be fun. I think it would be a good. It'll be fun whenever it comes. But how was your getting into like to get to that first game? What was the whole like? What was the feeling? What was the
yeah, and I guess just quickly before you go back to that, Austria did not compete at the last Euros. Saskia had had a temporary retirement essentially. So to them, like that Euros doesn't count. So it
But
makes this
they were
next,
there. You
I
can't claim they
know,
didn't
but
compete.
it wasn't the same. It wasn't the
No,
same,
it was
right?
not. It
Like
was not. Yeah.
Saskia is a different level. Saskia is the Austria quarterback. I mean, she's a pro. She's been around for ages. We've played with her. We've had her on Sax in the City and, an absolute threat on the field. And we'll come to that in a little bit. But I think for the first game, honestly, it was the hottest day and the hottest game of the day. We played at like 11:20. I mean, our feet were melting. Like the heat was insane. It was 36 degrees Celsius, about 90% humidity. And I'm a sweater, y'all. I was sweating everywhere. I've never, like, sunscreen in your eyes. Like, none of us could function at all. I'm so glad. I would say the best thing we did was go out for that week before to try and acclimate because there is no preparing you for the level of heat and humidity that was out there. But
Sorry. I'm just trademarking it from now. We're gonna have pump covers for the gym that just say "I'm a
I'm a
sweater,
sweaty
y'all."
girl,
Yeah,
y'all.
I'm gonna get one.
that's
Okay, look, put that on the list
I'm a
of
sweater,
shirts
y'all.
I
Like,
need.
yeah,
I need you guys to make. I'm a sweaty girl. Like it's just a
yeah, yeah.
fact. I would
It's a
like,
fact.
yeah, we're gonna get that
That's
made.
done,
So
done,
please design that
done.
for me, please. I mean, it was crazy. Honestly, it was crazy. So we had like the towel of life, which is like our thing. I mean, it was so sweaty so that by like the last game, it took me probably 4 games to realize like I just need to have one glove on because I had sweat through my gloves that the ball was just like that. So that's why I ended up playing with only one glove because it was so severe. Um,
That's how we explain all those drops then.
Bro, I had 3 drops the whole
Yeah.
tournament. Come for me right now. I had 3 drops the whole tournament, and I know that's not good, but I had
It's wild because
two.
the commentators leapt on it straight away. The
They did.
commentators were literally like, usually she has such a safe pair of
It's
hands.
such a
They did
great
not
cat.
wait. They
Yeah.
were like, oh, the ball's shattered. Oh, and she's dropped it. Usually it's such a... I was like, girl, let her breathe, man. It was good.
Yeah,
Ugh.
relax, guys, relax.
Relax. I know. Shout out Kate, who is the Kate Alden,
Sorry.
who's the commentator from Australia, came out and has kind of been our voice of international flag. Yeah, it was tough times. Like I can't even explain to you. That's why we had the towel on the sideline. We kept trying to grab it, whatever we could do. We also had to break in those footballs. They give them to you 2 days before the tournament. So
Oh, you
like
don't take
my
your own.
they wouldn't we brought our own for practice, but then we got first game was on Thursday. Tuesday, they gave us footballs. So we had to use those footballs, the World Game footballs, which brand new, you know what it's like to break it in. So
Yeah.
we had literally brought mud from where we were in the last place. Like we'd scooped up like this clay mud in like little plastic baggies and then use that to break in our footballs and then shaving cream. But like I was pretty much the only one that knows how to do the football. So I'm like freaking scrubbing like crazy, getting it ready. Oh man, like the poor people that had to clean our room. I just had bags of mud, footballs, shaving cream, like wow, it was crazy. So we got that done.
Don't ask questions,
Um,
guys.
yeah, I'm like, I'll be better prepared next year. Canada brought Wilson mud, which is I'm like, I'm not gonna pay for Wilson mud, let's be honest. But like
You don't get any
we got
more
Chengdu
like
mud, like
yeah.
we were with the people.
We are football.
Yes, exactly. So preparation for that for the Italy game was it was good. It was our first time showcasing our new defense. I mean, I think for us as GB, the biggest takeaways would be how well our rookies played. I mean, shout out to Jess Allen. She has been playing for 2 years. I mean, fantastic at badminton, but cool, calm, composed. This is a huge stage. And, she was replacing our quarterback, Brittany, who they're two totally different style quarterbacks. And so she handled herself with such poise and grace. And I mean, I'm so proud of her. Hannah Elliott coming into her own as well. I mean, unbelievable contested catches that were game changers. Jochebed Frimpong, who in the game against Italy that went to overtime, she had a pick two on it was Italy went for 2 points and she picked it off, ran it all the way back, which gave us
Yeah.
an opportunity to go tie 28-28 that led to overtime.
Oh,
I
so you
mean,
were losing, I think.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
losing. We
That
were
was, I think that
losing.
was the
It
only
was
game that
down,
wasn't
yeah.
streamed.
Yeah, they hadn't streamed it because there was like issues with the lights. So like our last two games were cut down to 15-minute halves. So even more intensity put on, like we
Oh,
need to
wow.
score quick.
Yeah.
Like Jock killed it. I mean, so proud of her. She did a great job. We had the honor of playing Mexico as well, which we were up. I mean, we're up, and then by halftime, I think it was 13-14.
It was.
I mean, there was just so many highlights of that tournament. It was so good for us to kind of come together and get into our playbook. And then, Austria was tough. Like Austria, we kind of talk about Saskia a lot, but they're so good. They're so efficient. She knows the defense so well. And so even if you're just getting 5-6 yards every play, I mean that adds up, right? And before you know it, you're like, man, how are we in this situation again? They went toe for toe, and I know we'll talk about this in a little bit. They went toe to toe with USA.
Mm.
So for us, it was definitely
Yeah, sorry, I know you said we're gonna go over it. Sorry, I got
yeah,
excited. I got excited.
but it was
Penny.
for
I know, I
us,
know, I know,
that
I
was
know.
probably our
Sorry.
toughest game is Austria because we should have been better. I think some of it is fatigue. We have a couple players that played both ways, which is phenomenal. Grace Conway played both ways. Hannah Elliott played both ways, but it was hot as anything. Not making excuses. Austria definitely were the better team on the day. It just was, yeah, it was just pretty exciting and fun and exhilarating tournament. I kind of want to bring up Blessing as well, our producer who has been him and Rory, who are the social media guys. They did such a phenomenal job of putting out content throughout the week.
Yeah.
Like the amount of people that came up to us and were saying how great our content was. And, without them, like people wouldn't know what we were really doing out there. And this is the first time we've had this level of exposure on ourselves. BBC doing articles, shout out Ben Collins, my boy. It's just I think there was so many different people that pulled together to help make this happen. And yeah, it was just a really, yeah, kind of like life-changing event for me personally. It was probably the best time I've had with flag football. I think I've alluded to previous flag football experiences with team, and it's not been anything like this. So everyone's gone on so well. The culture has changed. Jack Reed's done a phenomenal job in terms of really bringing in the right people and changing the culture. And it's exciting to see where this team can go and the future really.
That sounds incredible.
It's
Just
amazing.
quickly, one, because I couldn't maths it when I was trying to work it out when I was at home. What was the turnover time like between games? Because sometimes it felt like you were playing like three times in a day, and I was trying to work out, and I was like, wait, have they slept? Have they had time to go to bed?
Time
Or
difference
like,
issues.
yeah.
Yeah, the time difference was a lot too because we would wake up, you have to go breakfast. So we probably do breakfast every day at like 7:30. And because the fields were 50 minutes away, practice fields, playing fields were 50 minutes away, you'd have to go through security's crazy. So you'd have to go through security to leave to get onto the bus to go 50 minutes. So like I've started my warm-ups on the bus. And then you get to the field, you go through security again, like name badge, put your bags through. You weren't allowed to bring in like certain sunscreen liquids. You always had to if there's any liquids like drinking liquids, they would make you drink it to pretend like to know that you're
To
not poisoning
prove.
people.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
one time Jack like drank it and was like and you should have seen the poor volunteers' faces. They were like, he's dying. Um so yeah, I mean the security procedures were a lot, but yeah, for some of the games we had two in a day. Then we had our own classroom where we could actually do like stuff on the computer, but we had endless snacks and food, and we would just everyone would sleep. So we would bring pillows, we would bring whatever we needed to sleep. And that we would just hang out there for like 5 hours before our next game. So
Wow.
it was
Did it
exciting.
feel did it feel safe though? Like did it like so
Oh,
we talked about the
100%.
security, like because there were
Cameras
fans there.
everywhere. You could not hide. Cameras were everywhere.
Isn't it like one of the most watched places in the world, China?
Literally, you like if there were five cameras in one room, it was not surprising. We had like shower nets over the two cameras in our classroom. Like it was crazy. The security, the police, you would drive.
Shower net? What?
Yeah, like hair bonnet, like shower caps over the cameras in the classroom and stuff so that like we could sleep and change and stuff. But there are cameras everywhere, everywhere. Like you were never not being watched.
Wild.
Yeah, but that kind of rounds up GB in Chengdu. It was amazing. And I wanted to kind of go into our halftime. So, quote of the day. I'm gonna bring it back just because, again, Coach Markey said it during the week. Um, and the quote is, "No win is too big to go to your heart. No loss is too big to go." I messed it up. To go to your heart.
Can we just
Okay.
can we just try
Again,
that again, please?
you want to try that again? No win is too big to go to your heart. No loss is too big to go to your heart. I feel like I've messed that up again.
Yeah.
Again,
Do you
you
want me
said
to,
heart
do you want me to go
twice.
for
Yeah.
it?
Go.
Okay. It's no win is too big to go to your head. No
Head.
loss is too big to go to your heart.
There we go.
It's the it's
Guys,
the
I
it's the
traveled for
idea.
25 hours yesterday. That's what I'm
I'm
going
just hearing excuses, really. That's what
Yeah.
Oh. So
Oh.
what is your go on, Ken? What's your interpretation?
No, sorry, to be honest, I'm gonna throw that right across to Yas because I think what we should be doing is like giving the South London version of all these quotes. Like what
Lego.
make it make sense for us, Yas. What does it mean?
It basically means it's not that deep.
Isn't it?
No win is that deep. No loss is that deep.
Yeah,
Keep going.
yeah. He's just on to the next one. I absolutely love it. And it's exactly that. It's just like,
Mm.
hey, like stay level. Like don't let it get to your head, but don't take it to like everyone will win, everyone will lose. It's
Yeah.
part and parcel, and it's finding for me like one of the things I try to encourage is what you have to find. Too many people find the joy, look for the joy, sorry, in winning, and can only derive joy from winning. Like
Yeah.
you have to be able to find joy in the competition, in the competing, and not to take it back to crying over Chengdu, but that that it's like you want the chance to play against the best in the world to see where you are, to see where you need to improve, and that's what you have to find the joy in. Like if you look for the joy elsewhere, but also conversely, like the pain doesn't come from losing, it comes from not being prepared or not having done enough to put yourself in a position where you're able to compete. So that's my 2 pence on that.
I like it. I think similarly, I think it's about being level-headed, and I think that the element about the loss, like it doesn't matter if you lost by 50 or you lost by 1 point. A loss is a loss, and I think it's going to hurt you no matter how you look at it. So, thank you for partaking in me getting the quote wrong. Thanks for the London, the South London translation, and I want to bring it on to the rest of the countries at the tournament in Chengdu because man, we saw some unreal football happening. I mean, I want to kind of go down to Japan first. We played them as GB. Japan really being the team that were phenomenal. They won bronze at the World Championship. Now, after winning bronze, they fired all of their staff, and which
Do we
is
know why?
Yeah.
I think it's just a standards thing. I think they thought that they could be better, which is super interesting because
Uh,
Japan actually ended up in seventh
Seven.
place, I want to say, at the end of the tournament, which is dropping hugely from where they were sitting previously. But the Japan staff are now with China. So
Oh.
that
Who
will be
finished sixth?
who finished sixth. And like big shout out to Patrick Alley, who is with USA Men's, who's gone and been coaching the China women. But it's so exciting for China because, I mean, first off, to finish sixth in your first international tournament is amazing. And they have so much talent. They one of their quarterbacks who played a little bit, she's only 17 years old. Like they have a really young roster. And imagine what they're going to be able to do because they are pretty much at school playing flag football every day. They trained every day for 3 months to be able to get to this level. So they did that in 3 months and came sixth. Imagine what another 3 months and another year is going to do for them. So they're going to be dangerous, I think, at the Oceania Asia competition coming up. Um, but yeah, it's a fascinating time for Japan, really, because their quarterback Chihiro Awada is phenomenal. Like if you watch the way that she throws that ball, like you want to see her in these big games because she is next level with her strength.
I've heard them call NFL QBs dimes or whatever. Like, geez, Louis, like she was putting ball. Like she threw. There was a ball. There was a play against GB. No shade, no shade whatsoever. Emma Dedico, who I would say is maybe the tallest GB player, is on the 5 yard line. I think it's Grace Conway's like 5 yards in the end zone. Someone's trailing this receiver, and she throws the ball like it's got to be 30, 35 yards. Like an absolute she just drops it on the front of the end zone. This player is like the only one in a triangle of GB players, and it's like catch it, 1 foot in the end zone, out about. You know, it's like ah, come on, like yeah, okay, okay. I think if I was the GB team or the GB coach, I would just have been like, yeah, 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 yeah.
Gotta
Like
take it.
we had that covered. And you talk about like forcing the QB to put it in such a small window, and she was like safe. Like, bet. Like, yeah, cool.
But it's
So some of
interesting.
the
Like you'd have a quarterback that's that amazing, and then the rest of it just didn't seem to click. Like
I
I
think they've
feel coming
struggled.
in from the last competition, I think I expected so much better of them. I was like, oh, like they're coming here to compete, and then
And I think some of it's like changing coaching staff. You
Mhm.
know, Japan were always a team that they played with so much life and energy, and I feel like they didn't have that. Like after every play, it didn't matter. They would come together and high five and kind of share in that joy. You know, they were a team that really played to their strengths, which is they are shorter, they're fast, they're fun, they're exciting. I feel like they went away from that a little bit. And some of that's learning, you know, you've got a new coaching staff, but yeah, it'll be fascinating to see what happens.
and I just jumping in on that because I have these are theories again, super helicoptered all the way up, looking down, and I feel like they went away from their quote unquote traditional style of playing, the style that so many teams that we're still seeing now copied so many of, especially the Japan women's team, have copied so many of their plays or their style of playing because the plays were super effective.
Mm.
I actually feel like they've gone away from that and done, and I hate this, I hate the names Eastern, Western, whatever, but they are seem to be playing a more European or Western style, or they tried to do that, because they got the QB with the big arm. Um,
But they don't have the receivers to match that. They were good at the
which is
smoke
what
and
I didn't
mirrors.
want to say it like that, but yeah, like whereas they were able to create so much space last year with the smoke and mirrors and the movement and the two QB and the three QB, like and again, like, it's not like I don't know how much change there was in the players that were selected. I don't know between the World Championships and the World Games, but I just felt like they've gone away from what made them great, and it
Mm.
showed. It really showed. So as much as we shout out Chihiro, like the football evidently just didn't match the level that they were at. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to go to Canada and Austria quickly. So Canada, congratulations, bronze. I mean, Sarah Parker, their quarterback, is just fantastic. Their center
Annoying,
who
annoying.
Their center, who is new as well. I thought she did a phenomenal job, number 81. But Sarah Parker, I think, has only just gotten better and stronger in this past year. And they're a super dangerous side. I think, they're in such a tough situation in terms of the Continentals and the Americas because you're always having to compete with Mexico, with the USA. But they're inching closer all the time. So I'm thrilled to see where they are able to take this in the next couple of years as well. Again, they've got Continentals next month, so let's see with all this extra film they've got of all these other countries that are in their group, let's see what they're able to do.
Interesting. No, I say Sarah's annoying because like she is so talented and her throwing technique is just like I'm like, you shouldn't be able to throw like that. She doesn't really step into throws hugely. She's got such a strong arm. And again, for me, she's very similar to, or her and Chihiro are similar to each other in terms of able to put the ball like, and all of it speaks to the development of especially women's flag, because now we're seeing like receivers running at full speed into small spaces because they trust the QBs to get them the ball in those areas. And it really shows like how far the sport is moving, and developing and growing. So I said she's annoying. She's annoyingly good is what I should be saying. Like it's not just I'm not just being harsh unnecessarily, but yeah, they're good.
Two games I want to get through quickly. Austria versus USA. This came down to literally the last play of the game. Austria are on the 1 yard line. And it's a really fascinating play call. I mean, Saskia has done a phenomenal job. We've said how great she is, but you're on the 1 yard line. Now, remember, you're in the no run zone, so you can't run the ball. And any pass that's made has to be a forward pass. And
Across the line of
across the line of
scrimmage.
scrimmage, which is huge. So they're lined up. They've got number 16 in the backfield with them, who kind of comes. There's a lot of things that happen wrong on this play, and I think producer Matt's going to try and pull this up for us as well because it's constantly a conversation. It looks like the line step forward, which immediately is a shielding call. So they step forward to make room for this to go the 1 yard or to get past the line of scrimmage, I should say. But USA's defense come flying through and break this up. Uh, I'm so sorry I'm getting your name wrong.
USA's edge rusher
It's
is
like Delia
insane.
Delia,
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Russia
I,
doesn't exist in flag, but I love it. Yes,
Well, they know what I
I love it.
mean.
exactly,
I love it. I
exactly.
know exactly what you meant. I knew exactly what you meant. I was just like, edge rusher in flag. Wow.
But I
Sorry,
knew
go on.
exactly what you meant. She broke it up. I mean, it was unreal, right? Like, I mean, awareness just locked in. Also had a great game against Mexico as well. But the way that she came in and broke up that ball, but I just thought of all the plays you could have run there. What are we doing? You're in the no run zone. Like what you see everyone's just jammed up on the line.
There's so much. So first of all, to that point, because they'd run that same similar, call it a wall or whatever, where they stepped forward and the refs didn't flag it in previous in a there was so much football, I don't remember which game. And I'm like, so the refs didn't flag it. So there's that question already. Like, would the refs have flagged it if they completed the pass, for example? Question number one. And I just think it was it's easy to, 2020 hindsight. They could have scrambled right, anything, and they have because Saskia is the absolute queen of short yardage plays. Like she's tall, she stands under center, so she's able to get the ball around the blitzer. Like can scramble left and right, throws confidently, and they'd played a massive game up until that point. And yeah, I think there's always that play that everyone you would love to have again. Like if you could have it back, make a
And it's
different play call.
always the ones that are like on the 1 yard
Yeah,
line or are like
yeah.
this close to a score. They're always those plays, and you just look at them and you go, how has our whole game come down to this? And this is the one play that we mess up.
To that point, so it's if you told I don't know her name either. This is so bad. In the final game, Mexico's touchdown. Okay, the receiver that caught the ball,
Mhm.
right? The play that won on the play that won the World Game 2025, she runs maybe 10 yards completely unopposed, stands in the back corner by herself and catches the ball. And that's
Uncovered.
the play that wins you. The point being that like all of flag, the level is and the teams are getting so good that really when you're practicing and when you're all your work, it comes down to like the one play.
Mm.
Do you know? And it's having and again, we're not in Austria's coaching room, so maybe they knew that, hey, 1 yard line, this is our play, like the tush push. Everyone knows what the Eagles are going to do, right? It's this is our play when we get to the one, and they may have had that set up, right? So
I
we're
think
we're
they're just
kind
trying to
of
be creative. And I'm going to cut you off because we have to move on to Mexico here. We've only got 1 minute left in this segment. So, to your point, the play that won for Mexico, 3 seconds left on the clock, two back-to-back penalties against Team USA, a roughing the passer, and then an unnecessary roughness, I want to say, that led them into that situation. I mean, so Sylvia Contreras, who is the center, who is literally Deanna's number one of literally the best center, I'd say, in flag football, female flag football, like is double covered, gets a high-low tackle on her. I mean, if you watch the slow-mo,
destroyed.
she's destroyed. Like a horrid, horrid high low. And that's what allows also for, the receiver in the back corner to be stood there, number two, number three. I can't think off the top of my head. But let's rewind all the way back. 2 minutes left in the first half, USA versus Mexico. It is 0-0. It is 0-0. 55 seconds. USA score a touchdown. Mexico get two touchdowns. You go into the other half of the game. Madison Fulford ends up running that corner route. USA have been trying to throw deep all day long. Izzy Garachi didn't have her best day. Madison didn't have her best day. Ashley Clam, was really the check down, but USA don't want to throw shallow. They want to throw deep. And I appreciate that about them. You've got Vanita Crouch, one of the best quarterbacks in the world, and she could put that ball anywhere. But that Mexico defense, man, totally stepped up. And
Yeah.
what a phenomenal ending. I mean, again, 34 seconds left. Madison scored that touchdown. Now, the debate we've had is, okay, do you stop? What's your philosophy? Do you stop if you're Madison before you get in the end zone, knowing the time, knowing your opponent, let the clock run out, you score, and then you don't allow Mexico the ball back?
It's there's two sides of this coin for me. Number one is you absolutely, and I'm not sitting on the fence here, but I'm just showing the two sides of the conversation. Number one, you absolutely don't score because of the most explosive teams. Now, Canada were explosive. Austria had the potential to be explosive. USA explosive, and obviously Mexico, super explosive team. I would say even China had some super explosive plays. Um, you have to stop because whatever happens, I would always prefer to finish with the ball in our hands, like do or die, right? So fourth down and we miss, at least it was in our hands, right?
Just the
Fourth down
control.
and we score, it was in our hands. So I would absolutely have had her score. However, however, considering it was a game where up until that point, USA's offense had only scored once, which is unheard of for them, did they have the confidence to stop outside the end zone and then take that one shot at the end? Or was it just like, we have struggled so much to score in this game. This is going to be our second touchdown. Like, we just have to get in the end, And that's where I'm just like, oh, it's difficult. For me, she's got to stop. She had to stop outside the end zone. She had to stop and have the awareness to stop. But the other thing is that, like, play the game. Because she scored it and she's like addressing, she didn't even address her team. she addressed the crowd. That is Madison Fulford on that touchdown, which the crowd had too much
Power.
influence.
They were
Yeah,
definitely, to be
Yeah.
fair, as sitting in the crowd, it was a
mhm.
very Mexico heavy crowd. They were booing.
Okay,
Oh yeah, like
okay,
they were chanting for Mexico. They were booing like any of the bad calls against USA. It was very much Mexico heavy.
wow.
And I just want to
That has a
say,
huge
whilst
effect on the field. Like think about
I
Spain last year when it was like basically the tackle game where it's basically the whole crowd was Spain and they
yeah,
were basically doing the same thing. That has a huge impact.
At any point in that game, do you guys start addressing the crowd? Or as a coach, my thing is like the way we shut the crowd up is by playing this game and winning.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I think USA are a team that are driven by the hype as well, right? They want to celebrate. They want to have like some players are, and I think they're all self-motivated. For sure. Everyone has to be to get that. I mean,
Mm.
that pick by Delia again, the pick six was unreal. Like that was huge for them. And I think they use that momentum a lot, but you have
Mm.
to sometimes find a way to build that momentum.
But
So
she, sorry, I know we've got to stop over time, but to that point, she scored that touchdown, and if you look, it's all her energies to her team. Does that make sense? Like it's a change in focus for me. Yeah, I know we're over time, so I'm gonna stop.
I just want to say massive congratulations to Team Mexico, our girl Deanna Flores as well. I mean,
Mm.
congratulations to USA. Like
Yeah,
winning
and
second at
Canada, like
Worlds is still
yeah,
humongous,
Yeah.
and there's so much promise for the future. Very cool to see, Nausicaa the Toro was doing all of the social media for IFAF, Tom Brady retweeting. I mean, huge to see the acknowledgement for flag football. You leave the World Games knowing that flag football is only going to get bigger, better. The personalities that are on display right now and the people that want to be able to come and watch. I just think it was only a positive, um, really a positive event. And like to have that final game be as intense as it was amazing. So huge congratulations. I just want to bring us into our last 2 minutes. And Coach Kenny, I am going to knock it to you.
All right, so 2 minute drill. And we're going to start doing this as we get more guests involved and so on and so forth. Like we'll do this more and more. But I have 20 rapid fire questions for you. Some of them just a bit silly, some of them a bit
We don't have
fun.
time for 20.
We have time for 20. It's
As
two
many as we
minutes.
can get.
It's easy. It's 6 seconds per. Easy. All right. So firing, I need your first answer to this, please. Let me see if I can pull this up. Here we go. So, and the time starts now. First thing you did when you landed back home.
I got a coffee, an actual
Let's go.
coffee.
Best snack you tried in Chengdu?
I have no idea. I don't think I
There was a
really
particular drink that you really enjoyed.
a
It
drink I
wasn't,
enjoyed.
yeah, the coffee. What was the coffee drink?
Oh, I did not enjoy it, but we tried cat poo coffee, which is literally as it says. Shout out Emily Kemp. We bought it and it is literally coffee beans they feed to a cat who poops it out and then they make it into coffee. So we did that was as exotic as I went, to be honest. Oh yeah.
We'll ask questions about that later.
Oh
Who
yeah.
on Team GB had the best dance moves on the sideline?
I think Jacobed did. Emily Kemp had her own version,
Okay,
which we'll
okay.
leave at that.
What was the most only in China moment of the trip? You've talked about
The
cameras
amount of
already.
people that took photos of us. They're like white people. Let's take
Yeah.
photos. And shout out to producer Blessing, who literally
Blessing.
was being handed children to take photos with. I think they thought he was like a basketball player. I don't know.
Shaquille O'Neal, that's what I heard. I heard it was Shaq. They thought
Facts,
it was Shaq, but
facts.
okay. What did you learn any words or phrases in Mandarin?
Well, Shay Shay is thank you. And Gong Hao is let's go.
Okay. Did you bring
Gong
home
Hao.
any unusual souvenirs?
Not unusual. We just brought home these lovely little like handwritten names in Mandarin, which a master writes for you on a scroll. So I don't think I have it. Oh, I do. Shout out to the master who wrote my name in Mandarin. And that's his little
Amazing.
master stamp on the bottom and top.
Okay, and then best piece of advice you gave a younger player during the games.
It's just football. We play flag football the same that they're playing flag football. So just treat it like we do. It's this game that you love.
Last two questions. If you could have one play again from Chengdu, which one would it be? If you could have one play again. I know we spoke about Austria's in.
Well, zero drops would be great for me. But there was the in China against China, like we had one play where I thought I could have made it to the end zone if I just like I was on my own for a while. I dreamt about it last night. If I just made a move inside, I probably could have made it.
And then last one word to sum up the entire World Games experience.
I think it's life-changing, genuinely. I think experiencing another culture like that is life-changing.
Guys,
I
hey,
will say
hey,
things
one
that
one word. One word.
memories. Wah wah. But I will say things that I never want to see again are entire chickens dried out in a bag, head included. I'm probably fine without ever seeing that again. Um, chicken, we were served duck feet. Uh, there's things that I just probably am happy never seeing again, and I'm not mad about. And I never want to eat rice ever again. Literally 3 meals a day, rice, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Kenny, you
Absolute
need to get
dream.
your mum to cook and change her mind.
Absolute dream. And slowly. All good, all good.
But thank you to everybody for hanging out with us today. I know that we've talked for ages, but there's so much to get through. There's going to be more next week. Don't forget, you've got the clinic on Saturday in Ireland, College Football Classic. And if you're in the UK, even if you can't attend, you can support the Team GB women by buying a ticket, and that goes towards Team GB and the players. So thank you all for tuning in to What the Flag. A massive thank you to Yaz and to Kenny. And we will see you next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring the bell. That's it for now.